Okay guys, we're back out here. Everything looks the same, but it isn't. This works nice. The gap is... I just had it. Huh. I don't know what to do with the... Oh, here you go. Gap is a hair bit bigger than the 3/16 like we had it. Same down here. Line is uniform. Seem to be good, except for the center of the door, two different shapes, but at this point we'll work on that because this door will be worked on. Obviously this is level. I took off that piece of tape like an idiot, but I did raise the door. Basically what I did was, at this point, I sanded the bottoms or the back sides of these hinges and the tops. The rest just need to be scuffed, basically. I did the A-pillar, and I did the door, and put it all back together. Okay, and just right here. But a lot of this is going to get resanded. I didn't do the edge, I didn't do anything. I just want to get the areas that are going to be hard to re-get. Like I could resand all this, but I don't want to take the hinges totally off again. So I could scuff this and do whatever. Those hinges are they're clean, they're degreased. New bushings on the bottom ones. Like I said, the doors work perfect. So, not complaining. Okay, I like the way we are right here. So we're going to try and match the fender to this. If I need to roll the door, I will. But we're good here and down here, except for the big hole. These tape lines, you can see there's a gap in these tape lines. Basically what I do is I put the door where it has to go. The strike is already adjusted. I rest it on the striker. I work in the front. I've been using this. It's a piece of aluminum. I bring the front to where I want it, and then just a hair bit more. Snug everything down and work on it from there. With that, at that point, that's when I decide if the gap is too big or too small. Because as I'm tightening it up, I'm getting the upper and lower part of the door set. Okay, and I'm trying to keep these hinges mid-seated, because that's usually what goes wrong. You keep adjusting the door, you keep playing. Next thing you know, this hinge is bottom or max to one side, so is this one. You don't have any more adjustment. You can't figure out why. So I try and keep these mid-seated, okay, and get the angle right, okay, and the depth. Then I get the door right, and then I work on the gap. And how I got the gap is I knew the gap was too wide. So I guesstimated how much too wide. I put this tape tight to here, and that's how much I moved it away. And when I opened the door, this is where I had. So, with that, I'm noticing as this hinge is drying out with the dishwashing detergent, the hood stays up a little bit more every time. So I can't lube it. Once I lube it, the hood's just going to go doop and land right where it has to be. So I can't really play with that because I can't grease it right now. This isn't the last time any of this stuff is coming off. I just wanted to be able to work on this door and have these hinges set. So you can see the pins are nice and clean, ready to be popped back out. These pins in this configuration cannot be popped out with the fender. This one hits the fender, so this one has to come in from the bottom for the last time. At this point it doesn't matter. So with that said, I think we're going to lay this fender back on and rebolt the fender back on, unfortunately, and make sure this door is completely fitted now. So it's easy this way. Once the fender's on, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to get your hands back up in here. And from this direction, you can only get to one bolt. The other two are covered. So, and just the rust that you guys see and saw, that's only rust that's oozed out from behind areas that weren't coated. That's not rust coming through the paint anyway, even what you saw all coming down here. That's just like staining. So, but like I said, all this will be prepped to be painted as we get to it, which will be pretty soon, I hope. Okay guys, I want to tweak a little bit of this fender out so I could sit the fender in, and by sitting the fender in, this gap will grow. And basically there's a stay that goes from here to the body. I already loosened that nut. I'm just gonna go behind here. I'm gonna try and bend the fender out in this shape right here, and hopefully reshape this whole thing in the process. Or buy a new fender. I have no way to prop you guys to do this. I'll prop you, but it might be a little. Maybe I'm pointing. You're pointing at me. I really do not know. So basically, the stay is off. I'm gonna go in here like this, and I'm gonna make sure that stay is loose. If it is, I'm gonna go right above that line, and I'm gonna reshape the fender slash. I'm not really trying to work on the door. I'm just rocking it back and forth, guys. Okay. It appears like it's out further, but don't go by that. The whole fender slid out. Now we're gonna slide the fender in. I'm trying to get this as close to this, and I'll explain what's going on after. Better, but not exact. This line is good. From the middle of the door down is good. Gap is good. We are nowhere near touching the top. The gap is uniform. This door has a flat spot in it. I can feel it from here to here. So I think when we work on the door, we're gonna fit it to that. It's not that drastic, but a little bit's gonna go a long way. When I work on the bottom of the door, I'll just, this is all good. This is the best it's fit in a long time. These points line up. Remember the little point here, the point here, and the point here? That's the best we're getting that. This is back up against here. My body line is right. Okay, let's check it from this way. So all that stuff changes. Yeah. So, like I said, we're not going for perfection, but I want it to look better than whatever. So, if you remember, these two did not line up, nor did the back ones line up when we started. And the pinstriping is proof that they never lined up. Because now that they line up, the pinstriping don't line up. Look at the waves in the pinstriping. It's painted on from the factory. The side's never been painted. So with that, this is a little proud of this, but if you feel here, there's more of a curve in the door, and then when you get right here, about the thickness of my 3 fingers, from about here to here, I could feel a different shape in the door. And the door's not hit. It's probably been like that its whole life. So with that, when we do the work here, we'll fit these. Remember we did it on the other side? Because I had the dent back here, so I just fitted everything. And if you remember, I said when I finally tweaked the fenders, I got to give it one more quick sand. So with that, we're good with the door. I lost the shim again. I don't know what we wound up with. This door was always tight. So it's just fitting in there, 3/16. Like here it fits, and here it gets tight again. There it just goes in. That's awesome. That's awesome compared to what it was. I opened the door a bunch of thousand times. Make sure the hinges are sitting down on their pins. You'd be surprised if you cock the hinge while you're putting it on and you think you have it adjusted. When you do it and it goes like this, there's play up and down in the hinge naturally. Okay? The play that's no good is when it rocks on the pins. So your first adjustment might not be right until you open and close the door a couple times and it settles. So yeah, I left that piece of tape off. But I say we're good there. That looks like a match to me. It's hard to tell on the camera because it's 2 different reflections, but I think we're good there. I don't have my straight edgy thing, but I can't use that. There's clumps of Bondo on this thing. Not exactly ideal. Let's see what we got. We still haven't cleaned up. So I would say that we were on the money. This line just lined up as it's ever gonna get. And this is good up here too. So you could never have this gap the same as this gap. It'd be possible. It would drag on the bottom. So if you remember when we started, we were very close down here, but yet the fender does not overhang the front. So we got something right. So, and I think the doors adjust quicker when you have good hinges, because every time you go to move it and tighten it, the door settles back down. So if it's fighting you and fighting you, fighting you, just make sure you don't play in the hinges. With that, it's a car. Let's scuff it, satin clear it, and drive it just like this. Let's put the motor in and go kick some ass.